Most people don't realise just how much alcohol is holding them back until they step away from it. I've spent over 4,000 hours counselling high-performing professionals who thought drinking was just a social habit until they saw how much it was affecting their career, relationships and mental health. In this video, I'll break down the domino effect of cutting back on drinking and the unexpected ways your life will start to improve and why you don't have to quit completely to see massive changes. But firstly, let's address why we fear cutting back on alcohol. For many of us, alcohol is part of our identity. After work drinks, business networking, or just unwinding at home. We tell ourselves it helps us loosen up, fit in and function better. But there's always two sides to every coin, and deep down there's a nagging fear that if we cut back, something will change, maybe even something we don't want to face. We start to wonder, what if I don't have as much in common with my friends as I thought? What if drinking was the glue holding certain relationships together? Will I still fit in if I say no to another round? Look, drinking is everywhere. Client dinners, birthdays, holidays. It feels like saying no to alcohol means saying no to being social. And we're scared that our friends may see us as someone that has changed and that we will no longer be a fun person to be around. And what if we become boring? Or even worse, what if life becomes boring? Because let's be real, the fear isn't just about cutting back on alcohol. It's about losing connection, losing part of ourselves and even facing fears of emotions that we've been avoiding. But here's the thing. What if cutting back on alcohol didn't take something away, but actually gave you more? Well, let me give you a definitive answer on what cutting back gives you. So let's look at the domino effect of cutting back on alcohol. Stick around to number 4, as it for sure will surprise you. Before we jump into domino number 1, if you want to talk to me one-on-one about how I can help you break the fear of cutting back, then book a call with me via the link in the description below. Domino number 1, a clear mind and a calm life. One of my clients used to wake up every Sunday morning with a pit in his stomach, anxiety about what he might have said or done the night before. He'd check his phone, scanning for damages, and sometimes he'd even message his friends just to make sure he hadn't done anything embarrassing. But after coming back for a month, he told me, I can't believe how good it feels just to wake up and feel normal. No stress, no shame, just peace. When you cut back on drinking, you learn where the off switch is and you stop the endless cycle of going round and round. You start to wake up with less brain fog because you didn't drink to black out again. And you're no longer anxious about the night before, thinking who did I text and what did I do this time. You can stop hiding your drinks, drinking alone or taking things too far, and break free from the guilt and shame. And you know what's even better than having that peace of mind? Well, let's dive into number 2 and I'll tell you there. Domino number 2, physical health and well-being. For years, one of my clients, James, struggled with insomnia, exhaustion and constant brain fog. He thought a few drinks would help him relax, but instead, he'd wake up groggy, bloated and drained before the day even began. Then, after coming back on alcohol, something incredible happened. He finally slept like a baby. No tossing and turning, no waking up at 3 a.m. with anxiety, no more feeling like he needed another drink just to switch off his mind. Having deeper and better sleep reinforces the previous domino. You actually get the physical enjoyment and to enjoy this newfound peace. Stop needing to drink to knock yourself out and turn your brain off. You lose weight and stop having all the empty calories of unnecessary alcohol. And your skin clears up and you look healthier. People around you say, oh John, you look great. Have you been to the gym lately? You look ripped. And you look better and feel better in yourself, which gives you a massive confidence boost. The hangover, bloated and exhausted mornings are gone and you wake up feeling ready for the day. You finally start running, cycling, going to the gym or starting a new hobby. You become your healthiest self, feeling physically attractive and reversing the years of damage from addiction. You avoid the long-term health issues that addiction causes. And I know you're now imagining that version of yourself smiling out who you could become if you were that healthy and not drinking as much. And what an achievement that would be. What a life. So, is there anything else that improves when you get your drinking under control? Well, yeah, there is. And listen to Mark's experience in domino number 3. Domino number 3, better relationships. One of my clients, Mark, used to tell his wife, just going out for a couple of drinks. But too often, that turned into stumbling through the door at 3 a.m, making excuses and promising it wouldn't happen again. She was sick and tired of the broken promises, and the trust between them was fading. Then, Mark finally took control of his drinking, and everything changed. No more lying, no more guilt. No more damage control after another lost night. Instead, he rebuilt the trust he had almost lost. His relationship became stronger, more honest and more connected. And now, He's finally present for his family, no longer being held back by alcohol. You see, when we're drinking too much, our intimate relationships take the majority of the strain. How many times have you told your partner just a couple more drinks and then rolled in at 3 a.m? Your partner is sick and tired of the broken promises. But when we cut back on drinking, we also cut back on the pressure we put on our relationships. When we're free from the cravings and from the never-ending cycle of being out of control, we rebuild the trust with our family, partners and friends who may have been hurt by our past drinking habits. We regain respect, feel loved and no longer feel like a burden for our loved ones. Then we can go forward in life without the regret of alcohol costing us the things we value most. We don't look back in 10 years' time having lost our relationships, wasted money and our career. You want to look back having said to yourself you grabbed every opportunity without alcohol holding you back. And now lastly, domino number 4, the one I promised you wouldn't expect. Domino number 4, career and productivity gains. When alcohol becomes small and irrelevant in your life, you show up differently at work, with better focus, sharper thinking and increased motivation. I had a client who was always exhausted at work. He'd struggle through meetings, barely getting by, constantly feeling like he was underperforming. And after cutting back, he told me, for the first time in years, I actually feel sharp. I'm getting stuff done, and my boss even asked if I'd started taking some vitamins or something because my energy had completely shifted. That's the power of taking back control. When we are back in the driver's seat of alcohol, our work performance shoots up. No more missing deadlines or calling in sick on Monday or trying to power through another day with a hangover. So, why do we call it the domino effect? So far we've only talked about singular pieces. Because these are the 4 fundamental pieces that start a whole chain reaction when everything else follows them, and it's a knock-on effect where it all falls in place. These dominoes, once you knock over one, the others start to fall into place and it all becomes a sequence. You create positive compounding and your life just seems to get better and better. That was the case for me and hundreds of the functioning professionals I've worked with. Look, stopping or cutting back on drinking isn't about losing something, it's about gaining everything. More control, better relationships, a cleaner mind, a healthier body, and a more fulfilling life. Why you don't have to quit completely. Cutting back on alcohol isn't about never drinking again, it's about regaining control over when, why, and how much you drink. For many, the goal isn't total sobriety. It's about breaking the cycle of mindless drinking and making alcohol a choice, not a default, not an escape, and not a crutch. The first step is to prove to yourself that you can take a break. This isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. Freedom from hangovers, shame and wasted time. Freedom to choose when, where and if you drink, without feeling like alcohol is running your life. You develop a new relationship with alcohol, one based on mindfulness and balance, not habit and impulse. Instead of drinking on autopilot, you start making conscious choices, not because you need to, but because you decide to. You go from mindless drinking to mindful drinking. And you have the ability to really think when it is time to slow down or stop. You trust yourself again, knowing you can set boundaries and stick to them. And you feel in control instead of alcohol controlling you. You know how to recognise your triggers and have the inner peace knowing you're not going to use alcohol as a crutch anymore to numb your emotions. You're now able to sit with your emotions and have a clear mind and more focus and make better life choices. And most importantly, you learn that alcohol isn't what makes you fun, confident or successful, it's you. So if you feel like drinking is starting to control you more and more and you'd like to understand a bit more about your cycle, then book a one-to-one call with me below. And let's talk about a structured way to take back control without you having to give up your career or social life or identity. So if you want to talk to me, click the link below. I'd love to talk to you about your situation.